Alright, day 10 quiz for Geometry Unit 7, Quiz 2. This is going to be continuation. We're going to do 10 through 13, or 10 through 12 in this video. We finished with number 9, which was the equation x plus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 36. And that's going to give us a circle with the center at negative 2 and 4. With a radius of 6. Alright? So now we're going to go to 10. Write the standard equation for a circle. The center is at negative 6, negative 8. And it's going to pass through 0, 0. This means that if you have your graph here, we're going to make just some rough lines. So you're going to go to negative 6 and negative 8, right? This is your coordinates for the center. Okay, this is center, let's say it's C. Alright? Now it's going to pass through the point 0, 0, which means that here's the center, and so that would be the radius of your circle. And then your circle is going to kind of go around like that. Okay? So it wants to know what's the equation of that circle. Well, you can set this up because remember it's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Alright, so you know h and k because they're the coordinates of the center of the circle. So your equation is going to look like this: x plus 6 squared plus y plus 8 squared. And we need the radius. We do not know the radius yet. However, we know that there are centers here and a point on the outside of the circles there, and radius is a distance between the center and any point on the outside of the circle. So there is a way to find what this distance is, right? You remember the distance formula from way back, probably in Unit 1 or in Algebra 1. You had the distance formula. So what do we need to do is find the distance between negative 6, negative 8, and 0, 0. Well, we can always do, what is it? We got, it's y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1 squared, and we just get the square root of that, which is essentially, if you take this, these 2 points, and you can always draw a right triangle there. You can always count, the numbers here. Since this is at 0, 0, we know that this distance from the center to the 0x coordinate is 6, and the distance up from here is 8. So it's 6 and 8, and we can now solve for the Pythagorean theorem. If you use this, what you're going to end up with is negative 6 minus 0 squared plus negative 8 minus 0 squared, which is going to give you 36 plus 64, and then you just take the square root. So either way you want to do it, you could do 6 squared plus 8 squared, or you can, if you need to do the distance formula, you might have to do that if it's just easier. You might not always see the point on the line at 0, 0. It may not be that simple. So anyway, either way you want to do it. But you're going to use the distance formula. Using the distance formula, you're going to get that length of the hypotenuse of the triangle is 10. So the radius is 10. Alright, so let's put it all together. We have the center that tells us at negative 6, negative 8. So it's x plus 6 squared plus y plus 8 squared, and then r squared is 100. So there's your circle. There's the equation of a circle that passes through that point. Alright, number 11. The center of a circle is h7. Okay, so we do not know the x coordinate now. We know the y coordinate. It's at 7. The radius is 10. Okay. Now that we also know that the circle includes the point 3, negative 1. This is that, the the outside of the circle, the circumference of the circle, passes through that point. Find the possible values of h. All right. So in this situation, there's going to be two possible values. Okay. Well, what I would do is just write out the equation as you just give the equation with the information you have. All right. You don't know what x is, so you just leave it as h. And y, you do have the y coordinate of the center, so we're going to put minus 7. Remember, it's y minus k, so it has to go to negative 7 because it's minus whatever number it is. And we know that the radius is 10, so r squared is 100. All right, so we could, in this case, solve because we know that it has to pass through this point. So let's plug it in. X minus 3, right, that's our x and that's our y, squared, plus, and then what's y? That's negative 1. So it's negative 1 minus 7 squared equals 100. All right, so let's go ahead and oops. Let's put, oh, we don't know that yet, do we? It's going to be, excuse me, 3 minus h squared, right? Plus, we had negative 1 minus 7. Let's square that, and we get 100, right? Because the radius is 10. All right, so now we can solve. Well, 3 minus h squared, we could just multiply that out. So we're going to end up with 9 minus 6h plus h squared, right? And then that's going to, we're going to add what this is. Now negative 7 minus 7 is negative 8, and square that, you get 64. And so then that's going to give us 100. We can subtract 64 from both sides. And so let's reorganize this over here. We have h squared minus 6h plus 9 equals 36. All right, now this looks starting to look strangely like a quadratic, right? So you got you could subtract 36 from both sides, and you get h squared minus 6h, and then 9 minus 36 is negative 27. Oh, sorry, that's a should be an h. All right. So can we factor this? Yeah, we can. So let's do it. h squared minus 6h minus 27 equals 0. All right, well, two numbers that multiply to get negative 27, then their difference is negative 6. So we have h, how about 3 and 9? How about that? So h, in this case, using your zero property of multiplication, h plus 3, to make this whole thing to equal 0, h could be negative 3 or h could be positive 9. So those are your two possibilities, and that's what it was asking for. What are the two possibilities for h? Negative 3 and 9 are the answers. Alright, then we have one more. Number 12. Find the center and radius of a circle with the equation x minus 3 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 81. Alright, find the center and the radius. Okay, the center is going to be those two, but remember it's x minus h, so the x coordinate is a positive 3 for the center, and the y coordinate is going to be a positive 5. And that's your center. And what's the radius? Well, r squared is 81 here, right? That's r squared. So r must be square root of 81, which is 9. So my radius is 9, 3, 5 is my center. And that's it for quiz 2.